Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Promoter plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Promoter plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Good morning, clubbers, and of course, welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Club. Listen, it's a fantastic Friday. It is the 31st of January. We've almost made it through January. You know, typically we hear that January is one of the toughest months of the year, but we've made it. I want to say we've made it. It's a beautiful Friday morning. The sun is shining, and it all depends on perspective, because when I look outside my window, what am I seeing? I'm seeing children lined up at the bus stop waiting for buses. I'm seeing a lot of bustle at the bakery. I am seeing sanitation workers doing their stuff. You know, I also seen the mandarin on the neighbor tree. You know, there's so much. It depends on perspective. But I'm happy to see that we're moving. Listen, you know, there's so much to be grateful for. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for my children, my babies. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for opportunities. I'm grateful for the wonderful weather that we're having. You know, I'm grateful for so much. So, you know, I really hope that you do take time to list, as I always tell you, list the things that you're grateful for. I'm also grateful for you, for those of you who tune into the Wake Up Club religiously. You're on the Ride Along Network. I want you to know that I appreciate you. You know, make sure that you're sharing our content so other people can see it and also feel uplifted. You know, I want to thank all the people that continue to support and encourage. I want to also thank those who criticize, because, you know, sometimes you need a little somebody to tell you something for you to shake up. You know, not all criticism is negative criticism, you know. So I do pay attention. I'm happy for those of you who send me little notes and say, you know, do this or say this or mention this. I am appreciative of you for that. Listen, we have a fantastic show this morning. I've decided to turn the tables. I've turned the tables on my producer, Junior George. He's normally the person behind the camera asking the questions. But this morning, I wanted to turn the cameras on him. You know, he has worn so many hats during his lifetime. And over a year now, he ventured into a new experience. He introduced, he kind of got into the tourism industry. He introduced to Grenada for the first time, and that's what I like about it, because he isn't copying anybody. New things. He introduced the electronic bikes to Grenada. He also introduced the tuk-tuks to Grenada, and most recently, he's gotten into the water sport business. So we're going to be chatting with him to find out, you know, the energy, the genesis behind it. How is he doing? You know, all of that in a nutshell. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be chatting about what irks Kirk. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folk. Of course, you're tuned into the Wake Up Club. And of course, this segment is called What Irks Kirk. And let me tell you what's irking me. What's irking me is that, and we're going to get to it later, okay? Is that I'm struggling. And you're probably saying, Kirk, you struggling? Yes, I'm struggling. And because I am struggling, I know there are people who have it far worse than I have it. Yeah, I am watching every dollar, and there's some people that don't have a dollar to watch. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, we live in a world where there are doers and there are takers. And unfortunately, a lot of people refuse to get off their asses and do, okay? And we're seeing that, you know, everywhere we turn. There are a lot of people who will sit down and throw themselves pity parties and not get up and do. And you know what's sad about that? Is that they're also takers. There are those who will not get up from their asses. They will not do anything to progress, but they'll take from the rest of us who are struggling and really trying hard to make ends meet. You know what I'm talking about. You know those takers, okay? Sometimes those takers are strangers. Sometimes those takers are lying in a bed in the bedroom right near to you right now while you're watching the Wake Up Club. Yeah. Sometimes those takers are in your family. You know, there's some people that are oblivious of what's happening in the world. Okay, they are existing. You know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back. Okay, you hear me? I'm saying it and I'm going to take it back. I wish I could rewind the world to 1998. Okay. Now, I have nephews and nieces, and that's why I tell you, I will say it and I will take it back. I wish I could take everybody 27 years and younger and put them on an island for themselves and for us to start things over again. I said it, okay? I say it and I'm taking it back and I'm asking for forgiveness. But that is how I feel sometimes because I don't know what's happening with us. You know, recently I saw, you know, listen, I don't care which side of the political spectrum you're from, okay? But I saw a lot of ridicule made over Kate, over Sheen, okay? And I don't care what side of the spectrum you're from, okay? I am old school, okay? And if some of you are so dogmatic that you can't see outside whether you like a person or you don't like them, but you can't see stupidness hitting you in the face, this is the right program for you. Maybe I'll make you look at things differently. I remember when getting a good deal was something great over false pride and trying to live and wear brand names like superstars. Something happened somewhere. Okay? I wear Sheen. Yes, Mr. Sita Halders wear Sheen. But you want to know what is laughable? I know a lot of people, okay, who you know, the perceived people, you all, they say the people who have money, the people in Lansapine, who wear Sheen as well, okay? Because we look for a good deal. You know, we're not in the false pride and trying to impress people while we're struggling. I wish we would stop majoring in the minors in Grenada. I really wish we would stop. That's why I want to take all your takers and just put all you on an island. And for us to restart things. Because half of all you that laughing, you know, listen, you hear what the issue was? The issue was about somebody wearing something from Sheen. On Sheen, you get good quality, you get bad quality. But you get deals and all of us struggling. But all you have false pride. Something went wrong somewhere. That somehow the value system went haywire. Okay? Because the value system is not into being honest, having integrity, having respect, having ambition, loving your neighbor as yourself. You know what your value system is based on? What you put on over. The temple that Papa God give you. That is what some of all your value system on. Yes, I wear Shein. Yes, I also have brand names in my closet. I just wish we would stop majoring in the minors. Okay? I just be embarrassed for the poor country because all you on Facebook majoring in the minors. Listen, somehow, somewhere, we had to shake up. I know everybody have their head buried in the sand and in denial. Okay? Somebody had to make the sacrifice to shake us up and to tell us we're going the wrong way, because as I tell you, it have doers and it have takers. And if you're not a doer, somebody coming to take from you. And don't think the takers are the people, the strangers out there, or the thief that go break in your house when they decide to sit down and be lazy and do nothing for themselves. Okay? The takers right now lie down in the bedroom, in the next bedroom in your house. They're waking up about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Okay? Some of our parents in the age that they are in right now, they can't relax, you know. They're fighting to make sure they put food on the table for some of all your grown, big-ass adults who wouldn't wise up, who just majoring in the minors. So I say it and I will take it back and I will ask all your forgiveness for saying it. But I kind of fed up. I'm fed up with the fact that the discourse that I'm seeing on social media is not things to empower and uplift people. It's nonsense. Who wearing what? All in shame. I shame for my people. And I'm frightened. I'm frightened. Because I'm frightened that somebody go come and want to take what I have. Okay? And they make an effort to do nothing with themselves. And that's what irks me this morning. And it irks me badly. So if you have a taker in the room sleeping right now, go and bang the freaking door and wake them up and tell them, meditate, wake up, do something. Some of us have grown-ass children in the house sleeping till 11, 12 o'clock in the day. And you still can't retire, can't relax yourself, have to fight to put food on the table for them. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for that. We take a quick break and we come right back.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Promoter plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Promoter plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447.
Welcome back. And some of you still majoring in minors. Coming to tell me about is not where she was in Parliament. Wrong is wrong. I ain't talking about that. I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm talking about the discourse that happened on Facebook after. Okay? I'm talking about false pride. Okay? I'm not here to judge nobody or attack anybody personally. Some of all you majoring in the minors. All you miss the message I'm talking about false pride. I just use her as a reference because of the Shein thing. Oh God, people, get a bush bat now. Where the bush tree? Some of you will only take what you want to take out of something because you all have a point all you want to prove. But I guess I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to be a hypocrite, okay? Anyhow, this morning, I want to turn the tables, as I tell you, on my producer, director of Ride Along Network, Mr. Junior George. Junior, welcome to the program.
Yeah, I'm here.
Morning, morning. What's up?
I'm not a morning person, by the way.
Oh, you mean you're not a morning person?
I'm a I'm a evening time kind of person. First of all, morning to your great large
Uh-huh.
viewership fan base. Yeah, but Kirk, you know this. In the morning time, I just have to get my thoughts together, have to get myself together. So I am not a morning person. Hence the reason why I never opted to do morning show, Kirk, and that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, nevertheless, I'm here.
Anyhow, listen,
I
I'm
am
happy
here.
to have you here. You
Yes.
know, because I like the fact that I could turn the tables on you. You're always asking questions. Um, I've been around. I've been watching you. I've been watching you progress, and yeah, I think I know who you are. But to be quite honest with you, I have known you for many years, and I don't know where you are from. So, in your own words, tell me. I know you're Grenadian.
Yeah.
Tell me, where are you from? Which part of Grenada you're from?
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know, my name is Junior George. I am from the beautiful parish of St. Andrew, the
Mm-hmm.
village, Richmond, Richmond, Union, Ladigue. Some of you guys know that area there, Subies, Battle Hill, that area there. That's my little big humble beginnings. Um, and I lived in Grenada for about 15 years. I started school at the St. Andrews Anglican Primary School right in Grenville on Victoria Street there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to SAS, right? I unfortunately, and I say unfortunately for a reason, um, had to leave or, finish my schooling in Grenada in Form 3 because what happened was all my family migrated to the US. Almost all my family migrated to the US. I tried to hold on for as long as possible because I wanted to finish. In fact, my mom and everyone wanted me to finish school before I went to the United States. But at that point in time, it was only me um, and I think my brother, but he was always working as a chef. So it was basically me at home for the whole time. And my mom didn't like that too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You have to come up. So we all migrated to the US. And that's how it started for me from the age of 15. So I currently I live in New York now for 30 plus years. I actually live in New York for a
Mm-hmm.
longer period of time than I did in Grenada, 30 plus years. And
Okay.
that's how it kind of started for me.
Okay. Now, I've always known you in the media, but was that your first love, or what did you do out of school in the US? Was that the direction you saw your life taking?
Not really. But when I was 9, 10 years old, I remember getting that call because I used to extempo. I still sing and stuff like that. But I was extempoing one day at an event. Extempo is like
Mm-hmm.
spontaneous lyrical combustion. Let's put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I got a call from one Hamlet Mark at the time. He had a radio station up in Munich, which is like not too far from where I live. And he said to me he wanted me to do some a radio broadcast, a radio report, sorry, of the cricket in Union Pasture. I'm like,
Okay.
cricket? Like, how I do that? Because he saw me, I guess he just felt like that's something I could do. I'd never done it before. So at 9 years old, I was a cricket commentator for YSFM, reporting on the match from Union. And from then, I just kind of got a love for media. One day that he called me up to the radio station, and we had they had this, we used to have like a fan club program where they bring all the fans in. So I went up to the station, and at one point I was sitting in the studio, and the music finished, the music ended, and he went, I guess, to the bathroom or wherever he went, and then there was just open air. And I was monitoring him. I was watching what he was doing. He was pressing a red button and he was talking in the microphone. So when the music stopped and I was sitting there, And like, what am I gonna do? And Kirk, let me tell you, I reached over and I pressed that red button and I said, "You listening to YSFM Quality Radio, Munich?" And from that pressing that button is like, like you have something that just went into your veins, like, and it just grabbed me. I think that was the jumbie, the media
Mhm.
jumbie that grabbed me. And from then, I said to myself, this is probably something that I'll get into, you know. But I never really touched it. I went to the U.S. years after. I went to college, and shortly after that, me and my brother and another friend, we created a media, well, not a media company. It was essentially a video production company. We was doing
Mhm.
weddings and that's basically what it was, weddings and little concerts and stuff like that. And shortly thereafter, we started a TV show, which some people who was my age would know about Time
Mhm.
Plus Beats. So
Mhm.
from that relationship, building a production company, and funny enough, Kirk, my brother and everybody used to push me in front, because I used to be the one that's editing this, be like, go interview the bride, go interview the groom. I'm like, oh boy, why I have to be the one that always interviewing people?
Mhm.
And so after the program started, it only made sense that I started to host the program, but I never wanted to be on camera though. That's something I always prefer, being in the back seat, pushing the buttons, editing, producing. That was more like my style. And
Mhm.
but anyway, I got caught up and I I just couldn't get out of it, basically.
Okay. Now, listen, about a year ago, you started with the e-bikes in Grenada. Now, tell me about the genesis of that. Because, yeah, every Grenadian I meet who is in the diaspora will tell me, listen, I want to give back, I want to do different things. What's the genesis of that? Because it has grown into a whole, you know,
Yeah,
big regime now, moving from e-bikes to, of course, tuk-tuks, and then we'll talk about the new initiative now. What
yeah.
was that like? What was the genesis?
Well, to understand the method to my madness, Kirk, you have
Hmm.
to go back a little bit, right?
Hmm.
And you played Kirk Sitahal, for those of you who don't know, played a very integral role in the development of this platform. Kirk was my very first guest when I started to do Ride Along. You was my very, very first guest. In fact, I didn't even, I wasn't even planning on doing a show. I was just a conversation. You remember? Pull over in
Hmm.
the car. It was just a conversation. And after I did that conversation with you on in the car, everyone messaged me and said, "So, what are you going to do tomorrow? What's the story tomorrow? Who are you talking to tomorrow?" I'm like, I had no
Hmm.
intention of doing a show tomorrow. It was just me and Kirk sitting in the car having a conversation. But the
Yeah.
anticipation, I guess the conversation was good and people liked it. And they were like, "You guys have to do another show. You have to do another show." So
Hmm.
there am I struggling to find out, what am I going to call this show? Because remember, we
Hmm.
sat in the car in the
Hmm.
SUV. Well, I started to call it Drive Along or something like that. That's the
Yeah.
first thing I call it, Drive Along. Welcome to Drive Along. I call it all kind of different name, and then I guess Ride Along just kind of stuck. I don't know. I just stuck, and then so starting a program in the car, Ride Along, where I started to go to different places and interview people in the car, where we having conversations about their life. I remember talking to a young man who was he was like a millionaire, and I met him on the street. He was a bum, so I
Hmm.
asked him to tell me his story. I go all back there to show you the progression of where the whole idea started. So
Okay.
with the Ride Along idea, um, I the program, of course, kind of metamorphosized itself into different things. We moved from the car into the studio, but the name Ride Along, I started to envision there's a lot that I could do with a name like that, right? So I started chronicle all kind of different ideas of things that I could do without thinking outside of ride or
Hmm.
riding or driving or moving or getting from point A to point B. I
Okay.
started thinking about different ways that I could physical the whole platform, right? So as you know, people that tune in to Ride Along, they are my riders, right? So
Hmm.
it only made sense, if you are riding, you are riding. You could be, Just writing. Let me tell you, Kirk, my brain goes like a little computer sometimes. I think about all sorts of things, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
crazy, crazy, and then I kind of put it together. So last year, well, not last year, a few years ago, because I travel a lot. I go to different countries, tourism. I go to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Bahamas. I came from Ghana, all these places, and I am so. I love to do excursions. I love to do tours. I love carnival because I do Monday night mass and stuff like that. But particularly, I I went to Bahamas and I saw something in Bahamas, NASA Bahamas, and I was like, wow, this might work in Grenada. I went to Puerto Rico and we got on a bike. It wasn't an e-bike; it was just a regular bike. And I remember riding around Old San Juan and saying to myself, "This is just a simple bike riding in Old San Juan, and everybody's just happy just to be riding in on Old San Juan." I say, "Aha, this probably could work." So I started to chronicle all these different things. I went to Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Accra. That's where I lived for a couple weeks, and I saw how the transportation was structured. I was like, "Aha, that could work." And one time, I took my family and I we took a cruise. So we went to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Martinique,
Mm-hmm.
a few countries, and then St. Lucia, and then Grenada. And while on the cruise ship, we were, we had a group of people that we eat lunch with, and they became like friends. So every country they went to, I like, how do you like St. Lucia? And they would tell me what they like, what they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to Grenada, I was like, how do you like Grenada? She said, love Grenada. Beautiful place. But not a lot of things to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that kind of resonated with me. That sort of made me think a little bit. All these places that I've been to, all these things that I chronicled, um, how about bringing that to Grenada, right? And it really cemented the idea of bringing more events or more excursions or more things to do in Grenada, simply because the lady came up to me and the lady expressed to me that she loved the country, but there was nothing much to do. So first, I started with e-bike last year, the 20th of January of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I launched the e-bike, which was a year in the making. So I purchased all these e-bikes and get it down to Grenada. And at the time, Kirk, I'm doing this right. I'm just thinking ride along. I wasn't even thinking about the the long lasting effect that it would have. All I
Mm-hmm.
know is I want to take what I saw in Puerto Rico, which worked very well. They couldn't get enough people to ride the bike, and bring it to Grenada because I understand, I realize that
Mm-hmm.
Grenada didn't have that type of excursion, and that's kind of how it started from the e-bike. Uh, if you don't stop me, Kirk, I'll talk out your whole
No, no,
piece.
no, 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 no. Of course, I want to know the genesis behind it. And
Yeah,
listen, I was part of that. I was happy that you included me in that launch.
yeah,
You and I have been friends for many years. Even before me sitting in the seat of CEO for Spice Mass, and we've maintained a great relationship. I don't know your political persuasion, but sometimes I get the pressure of, oh my God, you and this Junior George, because we live in a society where we had to just stay with we own,
yeah,
and I refuse to live my life in that spectrum.
right.
I like to look at people's hearts, and when people are good to me, I am good to them, and you've been very good to me. But I
Yeah.
have to ask you this question
Uh-huh.
because I know it's not easy doing business in Greenland, and we're gonna move on to the talks.
Right.
You have also come under a lot of pressure and a lot of negativity for doing something. Listen, you're not even competing with nobody. Nobody
Right.
ain't doing the rides before.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody ain't doing the talk. How do you deal with that?
Right. Well, you see, Kirk, I think years of media, and when you're in media, you're always under some kind of scrutiny. You either would say something that people would like, you might cross somebody the wrong way, you might represent a topic, or you might blog on a topic that people would hit you back on, make memes about, and I think sometimes there'll be people that used to criticize, still do, the way how I speak, the certain way how I phrase a couple words, and I see how people just take trivial things and create big stupidness out of it. So based on that, being in media, it prepared me for all of this that's happening now. It really, I'm from the school of, if people are not talking, right, Kirk, you're not doing something right, because you're supposed to agitate people, whether it's their ability to laugh or cry or react. If you cannot get people to react in one way or another, you're doing something wrong. So when I started Ride and people started to attack the idea, right, I knew that I was onto something. Imagine if I started it and nobody said nothing. Everybody was so quiet about it. I'd be like, nah, something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong with this concept. So the mere fact that I get so much scrutiny, I know that I'm on the right track. So the e-bike thing, people criticize the fact that it might catch a fire. People criticize the fact that why am I bringing this here? There's all sorts of nonsense, right? But it actually was good for making the whole project even grow faster. And even for me, sometimes criticism is good. I look back and I answer the question, because I am a long-term planner, Kirk. I plan things out 10 years. I see things out in the next 15 years. And I look at it from that perspective. If people are not speaking, if people are not criticizing, if people are not agitated by some of the things that you do, you're not doing something right. Look at your program. People talk about all sorts of things that you speak about. And I went to one time. I went to the IRD, and the lady, before she started to help me, she was so indulged. She was just into watching something on her phone, and when I realized she was watching your program. So you agitate even people that might say things about you. They still watch. So to back to your question, I deal with it the same way I deal with the attacks that I get from media. It don't really do anything to me. In fact, I love it. I want the people to talk more. It's a blessing when people talk about my projects.
Okay. Now listen, I personally went on a tuk-tuk ride. Okay. And I remember doing that tuk-tuk ride. I said to you, Junior, I seen these tuk-tuks. I ain't like the fact that tourists come in and enjoy it. And
Yeah.
I ain't getting to sample it. And you afforded me the opportunity to do that. Now I did a video on my experience in the tuk-tuk. While I riding, I even pick up my good girlfriend, Callistra, and we had fun on the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Now that video went viral. Everybody looked at that video. And since then, I've seen a lot of Grenadians embracing the tuk-tuk. I've seen people deciding they're going and bar hopping in the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
I see people decide they even want to get married and
Yeah.
driven away in a tuk-tuk. Tell me about the tuk-tuk
Let me tell you,
experience and the reception.
Listen, again, I like to push the envelope, right? I just like with Ride Along Live. I take everything back to Ride Along Live, because that's how I shape everything that I do. I shape my experience in the physical world and what happened in the virtual and social media. So I envision that I'm going to launch, or we're going to put out at the tuk-tuk, and people are going to start criticizing it. I envision people saying all sorts of things about it. But I envision that I would push this product so hard, I would put so much energy into this product, that after a while, they would love it. You know, like Kirk, sometimes you hear a song, right? And the first time you hear this song, you'll be like, I don't know about that song now. That song don't hit me right at all. Kirk, you hear that song about 5, 6, 7 times. You start to fall in love with the song, right? So repetitive and consistency, I would make you love the product. Because I remember people talking about how they had something like that before. There was Amberlands that was here before, and they looked like that, and people was laughing at it and pointing at it, and people say, boy, that ain't gonna work, boy. That ain't gonna work. What are you doing with that? That's not gonna work. I said, listen, it is gonna work. And if I spoke to 10 people, 8 of them told me that it's not gonna work.
Okay.
Right? 8 of them told me That's not going to work. That's not Grenadian. Someone told me it is not our the type of transportation for the island. People told me that don't make any sense. People told me that people ain't go get inside of that. People, all sorts of things, Kirk. But I just saw that as, listen, it's a challenge, right? So the tuk tuk, I would make you like it. So when we started, I envisioned, creating the whole Grenadian, bringing it home to Grenada. So I branded some of the tuk tuks Grenadian colors, and so let's bring that home. And so said, so done. The same people who told me initially that this is not going to work are now knocking on my door and saying, "How can I invest in getting more tuk tuks with you?" Right? Because I pushed the envelope, and it has changed. I think it has, and it will change the face of transportation, especially in the tourism sector, being it now that we are the second Caribbean island that has
Mhm.
tuk-tuk. They have tuk-tuk in Antigua and they have tuk-tuk
Mhm.
in Grenada. Only two islands in the in this Caribbean in this Eastern Caribbean in this Caribbean area that has
Mhm.
tuk-tuk currently for tourists. And
Mhm.
I'm happy to be the first in Grenada to do it, but I think that in the next couple of years or so, you'll see more people um, getting the product, using the product, more tourism product with tuk-tuks and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay. Listen, I have to ask you though, and I'm asking you this, and I want you to be honest with me.
I'll try.
Okay. What is it like doing business in Grenada?
Wow, that
Okay.
that is a powerful question, and one that I was going to make a status yesterday,
Uh-huh.
um, and I still may post a status. Probably I'll post it sometime in the day. Doing business in any part of the world is difficult because, for one, you cannot expect that anyone will give you anything or anyone owe you anything. No one owes you nothing, right?
Mhm.
So I've done business in New York. I have businesses in other islands as well. Doing business in Grenada is a different kind of challenge.
Mhm.
For one, the first problem that you will face doing business in Grenada is getting dedicated people on your staff, on your team. Because I believe, I don't know uh, a problem. I don't know if it's an issue. I don't know if it's an issue. I don't know if it's something that how we are, how we think, or how we adapt to things or how we do things. It's just difficult getting real dedicated people to.
Because sorry to stop you there, because that was my next question. How do you find, because I speak to a lot of business people, and they struggle with finding people that want to work. No, no, no. People want a job,
Yeah,
okay? But they don't know how to keep the job. I don't know if I'm saying it right, or
yeah,
they don't have the passion or the dedication. You know, that
yeah,
was supposed to be my second question, but you dive straight into it.
yeah.
Definitely, which means that human resource is an issue.
A major issue. A major
Mhm,
issue. As Gabby said, doing business in Grenada would give you gray hair. Yeah, it will. It
mhm.
definitely will.
That is why you're wearing that hat this
That's
morning.
why I had this one. Now, the truth of the fact about it is, Kirk,
Uh-huh.
that's the first challenge. Human resource is a problem. And it's a big problem, Our mindset towards employment, our mindset towards um, work, I think it's different than what I've seen in other places. And that is a challenge. You would hire someone and they would come with that anticipation to want to work and stuff like that. And then you could always see that it's a progression like this. It goes like this and it goes straight down. Some people just feel like their obligation is to sit there and be on the phone, and no matter if there's a customer in front of them, um, they could care less. At the end of the month, they're getting their salary, right? At the end of the month, it don't matter what they getting their pay, and that doesn't really concern them. There are some people who just feel as if they're just not motivated, Kirk. A lot of people, and I'm not saying everybody. I had challenges, and I'm still having challenges in procuring, securing serious people who want to work, like who really wants to work. I had people who have hired and they would call off if rain start to fall. I mean, so I have to close on my business if rain is falling. All of this stuff is just a mindset. That's the first challenge. The second challenge that I find in Grenada doing business, and that's what irks me the most, Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody seems to be busy. Like everybody is like on a slow motion. And it's probably me because I lived in New York for a lot of years, and everything is a rush. You run to the train, you run. Yeah, everything is moving, right? You go to the bank, you have 15 tellers, you get you fast, right? Grenada, you go, you might see one teller, and she counting the money slow, slow, slow. And there's a long line, and nobody say, "Okay, get somebody else there." You go to wherever you go, everybody just in a slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm moving like this, right, Kirk? And everybody
Mm-hmm.
like this. Government officials, government agencies, private sector, banks, everybody, they're on a slow motion. So coming from where I sit and coming from what I know and coming into Grenada and doing business with that slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like, what the hell? Like, come on. Nobody's busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, right, let me share a quick story with you. Yesterday, I went to a major government agency to get some work done.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I went there because I spoke to the person on the phone and they said, "Give me 2 minutes. I'll call you back." So I needed the thing done, and I'm looking at 2 minutes. Well, after 2 minutes, I said, "Okay." He said 2 minutes, but I didn't expect 2 minutes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I didn't get a call back. I called back the individual. I said, "I'm waiting." He said, "I told you I'll call you back in 2 minutes." I said, "But you haven't. You didn't. And I need this done." I left and I went to his office
Mm-hmm.
and I sat there. And he wasn't in the office. A big government agency, which is very important for my business. I needed that particular thing done.
Mm-hmm.
And the person, they called, they said, "Mr. George is sitting here waiting for you." He said, "Tell him I'll be there in 2 minutes." he just don't care. Like they're just on this slow motion, man. And that is one of the most challenging things. We have this half day economy type of mindset. We have
Mm-hmm.
this, it's not important. It's just let me just relax a little bit. Let me go have lunch and then I'll deal with it whenever I deal with it. And I think that's one of the most challenging things
Mm-hmm.
doing business in Grenada. Nobody is busy. Everybody just in slow motion.
Most definitely. Now, listen. Recently, I saw you branched out into water sports, and
Yeah.
normally I call you and want to sample everything. I'm afraid because I don't want to sink.
No.
Okay. Tell me about that. Tell me about that
Right.
new venture.
Right.
Because
So
not only do you have those things that you pedal on the water, you also have those things where you could get a group of friends together. You could go out. You could
the
have
donut
your
boat.
food, your drinks. I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called.
Donut boat. The donut boat.
The donut boat. No,
Right.
it looked good, but
Now you don't have to worry about that.
mhm.
So everything for me is a story, Kirk. Every one of
Uh,
a story to tell. Everything for me is a story. Ride along. I'm thinking, what rides? You have a bike, you could ride a bike. You have a tuk-tuk, you could ride a tuk-tuk, and even helicopter in the air. And that is a great venture as well.
somebody jumped that before you,
Yeah.
Patrick.
But he's my good partner though. So I'm
Uh,
I'm working with him in terms of transporting people.
uh-huh.
Dowden, big up yourself. So the next sensible thing for me, because again, as I told you earlier, I think long term. I think 15 years down the road. I thought that the next thing to do is to ride on the water. How cool would it be to ride on the water? I just create that experience. So you could tie the tuk-tuk and the ride on the water in one kind of idea. You could tie the e-bike into the tuk-tuk, into the ride on the water. All of these things could all tie in because Kirk is not out of the realm of,
Mhm.
of the thinking. It's not like I'm saying something like scuba diving or something outside of my thought process, right? It
Okay.
is just one thought, ride, and you ride bikes, you ride. So with the paddle bike is an idea I saw in Nassau, Bahamas, right? Right before I went to Ghana, I spent a week in Nassau And right after that, I took a plane, went to New York, took a Delta straight to Ghana. So when I saw this on the beach in Nassau, I took a picture of it and I said, "You see that? I'm going to bring that to Grenada." Because people was just he was just on the beach, and every 15 minutes he was out and back, and people were just, "I love it, I love it, I love it." Everyone loved the ride on the water. So when Kirk, remember when we launched on the 20th of last year?
Mm-hmm.
I in my head I had a timetable. I said within this year, yeah, I didn't tell anybody about that, but it's in my head. Within this year, I want to launch three big things, or three things in addition to the ride, which was one, the e-bike, two, the tuk-tuk, and on the anniversary of the ride launch, I launched the ride on the water. Right? It was chronicled. It was meant to happen that way, and it did happen that way. And I think for me, it just made sense. It just made sense that we expand on the ride. We give riders, we give people an opportunity to experience different things. And it comes back to what I said earlier. This lady who told me that Grenada is so beautiful, but not enough things to do. If she come back to Grenada now, this same person that I met on the cruise ship, and with a list of things, and there are a lot more things excursion than what I'm doing. Of course, there are so many different things. I think her mindset will change because there are so many things now that's available and accessible, where that she could be a part of. So I think we are fixing the problem that existed, and giving people that option of many things to do. And so far, the ride on the water is one of my babies, one of my love. I really love the concept, and it's nothing to be scared about. We made sure that we dealt with so many different redundancies to make sure the rescue, if possible, which is not going to happen, by the way. And Kirk, you will not float, you will not sink. Sorry, it would carry 10 persons like you and me,
Okay.
right? So it's really safe and it's fun. You're just paddling like you're paddling a bicycle. The same mechanism like you as a bicycle. It has a chain, and has a paddle like you're riding a bike. It's the same concept, and you're just riding on the wave, and you're looking down on the water, and you're seeing the little fishes, or you're seeing the reefs at the bottom. It's just an amazing adventure. I encourage everyone to at least try it.
I see Kendra saying, and the price is right. So watching the program right now, if I decide I wanted to grab an e-bike with friends, or I want to go on a tuk-tuk tour, or I want to go on these riding things on the water, or even the donor thing,
Yeah.
how do we reach people? Where do you call? What's the contact information?
Right. So if you want to book an excursion, the e-bike excursion, um, you could, or the tuk-tuk, or the donut boat, or the ride the waves. There's a central point. You just go to ride.gd, ryde.gd,
Mm-hmm.
and all the information is there. You could book, you could pay, you could get your confirmation, everything. Even if you want to go ride on Monday on the water, you just go on the website, you just put it on, and just book your time and come down to the beach. Everything is there. We try to make it as easy as possible. Or we have a headquarters location inside the Esplanade Mall. So folks who are interested in coming in, you don't want to book online, you could just come down to the Esplanade Mall in our kiosk, and you could book any ride, a bike. You could rent a bike, you could get a tuk-tuk excursion tour, or you could pay for the ride the waves right there, or go down to Granada's Beach, and you could do it there as well. So there are many options. We are opening a location at Granada's Beach, the vendors market. You could go there. You could book the ride there. We're even going to have some e-bikes down at Granada's Beach, and you could rent like stuff like snorkels and fins and little things.
I see Betty and put up some of the image on screen. Now, most people like myself, I find myself with my friends complaining that I have there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm particularly interested in, because you know me, I don't want to I know you tell me come and ride on the water, but that requires me cycling. You
Yeah.
know, I just want to relax.
No, when
Okay,
they do,
and
we have
not
an option. We have an option where
uh
one of our team members could be
we'll do
paddling.
this. We'll do the cycling.
Yeah, do the cycling for you if you want. You
Okay.
just relax.
Listen, the donor thing is what I am excited about because I could see myself calling a set of friends together. We have our food, we have our drinks. Tell me about the donut particularly. How
Right.
many people it seats? What sort of service comes with it? Do I have to bring my food, my drink? How
Yeah.
does it operate?
Well, the donut boat is a collaboration with
Hmm.
Seabreeze that we negotiated there, and I'm very happy with that partnership. It's basically a rounded boat
Hmm.
that it's for family and friends get together, right? The idea is to have a nice little excursion with your closest family and friends. It's not 50 people, it's just about 10 people, right? And you have your little snack, you have your little drinks, some music playing, and you're just out on the coastline, and we just going up the coastline and then down the coastline. It's not a speedboat. It's not going to take you 100 miles per hour. It's just a slow ride
Ah.
up the coastline, right? It's an amazing adventure tour. We see people like groups, people having birthday parties, people that just want to bring out some employees to have some fun on a Sunday. They rent a boat to do those type of that excursion. It is something that I think everyone should at least try, because again, it's not a speedboat. It's not like Zoom. It's not going out in the middle of the ocean. It's just up the coastline, nice with some music and good friends. Um, and all of that information you could check it out on ride.gd as well.
Okay.
That information is available there.
Okay. I see Gabby telling me to go and ride. Gabby, next time you're in Grenada, we're going and ride together. Organize the group.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. The electric bike, I have no problem. I don't have to pedal.
yeah.
Okay. And the thing on the water, Junior says somebody could pedal for me. So, Gabby, we on the next time you're in Grenada. You hear? Now, Junior, I have to ask you, what's next for the ride family? What's next for Junior George?
Wow. I'm always moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always innovating. I already have a few ideas of things that I want to bring, but I also not interested in congesting with too much things at the same time. You have to give things an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to saturate, and that's me. Right along the platform is at a stage right now. It has taken off. The jet has taken off.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need me to baby it anymore. Right along is a big, 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 big man now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now babying the ride and babying the bikes, the tuk tuk, and the ride on the water, and also the donut boat. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to give that an opportunity to saturate the market a bit. Um, and although I have so many ideas and things that I want to do, I would give it a little time. And the other thing, Kirk, I don't really give people too much of an idea of my next thought process
Mm-hmm.
because I understand the atmosphere that we're in. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so people would see, they would see some innovation, some
And they
really,
want to
really,
copy it one time.
so that innovation, those things have some amazing ideas to revolutionize the tourism sector. Um, the only thing again, and you asked earlier about the difficulties. One of the difficulties I forgot to mention is the bureaucracy. It's just too much
Okay.
bureaucracy in small business. It's just like you don't get the support. You don't get the support from the people that you think that you would get the support from. It's just the business community needs help. And I could see, Kirk, if I didn't have a platform like Ride Along Live, I don't think that I would succeed very easily.
Ah.
Yeah, it is difficult. There sometimes almost, I think, impossible. Even for me, it's very, 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 very challenging to get things done. Bureaucracy, red tapes, people trying to hold back. Some people that just need to sign a paper, right? They would hold back because of differences, because I probably said something about them a couple of years ago, because they don't like my ideas, or they think I'm going contrary to their belief. So people hold back a lot. And I'm seeing this right now, Kirk, and it's affecting me on a daily basis in terms of what I want to do. Hence the reason why I've been in Grenada for 2 months trying to um, fix one problem, and the problem still hasn't been fixed. It's just every day is another issue, another issue, another issue. And I am one. I don't like, as much as people might say I may have connections, I might know people, I could go on the media and talk about it. I like things to take it go through the regular process. I don't like to circumvent the system. I don't like to jump the line. But at the same time, a lot of the bureaucracy is really killing business in Grenada. And I could see people saying, you know what, I'm tired with this. This is fed up. Because I don't give up. That's why I'm still here.
Mhm.
With all the bureaucracy and the red tape, I could see how people may choose sometimes not to do business in this environment, right?
Mhm.
And those bureaucracy need to really be looked at. People in position really need to see, and sometimes it's not the people at the helm, is the people who are there supposed to do a certain thing, right? They just may have issue, and that is where the problem is. Within that, there might be a policy decision, but the person have to implement a policy decision, and that's not the policymakers. Most times, it's the people in the middle there, and they might have an agenda, or they may have a different idea, or whatever the case is, and then at the same time, it stagnates your progress. And the other thing too, Kirk, is I think a lot of focus is placed on um, investors who are not like you, who are not your skin color, right? I feel like a lot of times, and I'm saying this unapologetically because I see it. I think that when someone like us, or someone returning national who want to come and invest their money here, they don't see it as the same as someone who is not of your color, not of here, and come and spend money here. They would run to the rescue and make sure that they're good. They would massage them. They would pamper them. Uh, but at the same time, someone like myself and others who may have vested interest in putting their money here and investing, they just see them differently. Like, yeah, you could do it. Yeah, just put them to the ropes. You see, and a lot of people I could see they just throwing in the kerchief and say the white flag and say, you know what, I give up. I can't. And that's one of the problems that we have, I believe. Small business in Grenada genuinely needs assistance, just as how the big sandals and the big this and the big that and the big companies are getting assistance. Small businesses in Grenada needs assistance. They need financial support. They need grants. Because say there is money, there is GIDC, but we need assistance. We need concessions. We need funding. We need support. All of those things we need, and that's one of the problem. If these things are unlocked, you would see more small businesses who is right now at the pillar of economic development. Small businesses who employ uh, people, a lot of people, and it brings a lot of revenue into the country, and it maintain and sustain families. Small businesses need support, and I hope that the powers that be look at it from that perspective.
Mhm.
Unlock the bureaucracy that is keeping small business from progressing and reaching to the next level. And you would see more people from the diaspora, more people from even locally here in Grenada taking up big, big, big projects. Let me say one last thing, Kirk. If you look at even the tourism sector, what we see is um, a lot of people who are in major position or running big businesses within the tourism sector, a lot of them are not Grenadians. A lot of them are not Grenadians. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that they obviously um, information that is not reaching the local person to say, I could do this too. Why am I not doing this? So when I, Grenadian, locally born here, try to push that and try to be in that position, people watch me like, what do you think you're doing? You
We
know?
see.
Who is he? Yeah, what? He's not this or he's not that, or he's trying to be like this or he's trying to be like that. When all I'm trying to do is ensure that we have some kind of moderation in terms of give me a piece of the pie. I don't want to
Mhm.
be working, and nobody wants to be, working for the next man. You want to create this, and you want to create something that is purely green, not purely. I want to say purely Grenadian because I don't want to get the wrong idea. But you want to
Mhm.
create something that's authentic, that is on the ground. Most people look at it from a different perspective. They look at profits. We don't look at profits. You look at development. You look at how much families will benefit. But most people look at it from a profit perspective. So small businesses needs assistance, dire assistance. We need grants. We need help. And the red tape and the bureaucracy is killing small business. And that's the fact, and that's the point. The banks are not helping in any means.
Mhm.
Easily go and get a loan to buy a car, but you're not going to easily get a loan to start a business, and that's sad.
True.
You know what I mean? That is sad. That is the kind of bureaucracy and the backward thinking when you
Mhm.
look at it from that perspective. If you start a business, you could employ 10, 15 people. And these people are you're going to be paying the NIS, and these people are going to sustain themselves and their family, get people off the road, of the streets, or whatever the case is. Um, there should be more investment in starting small business.
Most definitely.
Help them,
Mhm.
But sad to say, it's not, and I see it. I see it here. And I'm telling you, Kirk, if I didn't have this platform to push and innovate and talk about the things that I'm doing, I don't know how some people succeed.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Junior, we passed the time, but I have to, and I want to personally thank you for the opportunity that you've given me. Okay, I have been discussing, wanting to do something like this for many years. I even approached GBA and I said, let's get some personalities together. We don't have to have the same mindset. We could, something like The View, because, we need to be targeting issues. We need to be celebrating Grenadians. We need to be celebrating positivity. And you gave me this opportunity. So I want to thank you for that. First of all, it has been a difficult ride because a lot of people expect me to major in the minors. I get a lot of flack. I've even lost friendships because
Yeah.
I'm on the ride along network. Because it frightens me, the Grenada that we're living in.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, when you go in that ballot box, Junior,
Yeah.
I have no idea. You could tell me you vote in one way and you vote in another way.
Yeah.
Okay, and it seems like it's no longer about friendship and camaraderie and the fact that we're one people. We're divided along colors. So I got a lot of flack for being on the ride along network
Hmm.
because it's perceived to be one color.
Hmm.
Okay, and I am perceived to be another color. And to be
Right.
quite honest with you, I am entitled to be the color that I want to be. Okay, and you're entitled to be the color that you want to be. you know but humanity is bigger than that. you
Right.
know and I have chosen not to major in the minors. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I'm on this program and I'd say something, and because people are so dogmatic, they get upset. Okay, because we started to talk, I didn't the genesis this morning for my conversation wasn't on what was on the person's computer. It
Right.
was about the conversation that people were having.
Yeah. I understand.
Okay,
I got it. Yeah.
that wearing a brand makes somebody less. And sometimes people miss the whole thing because they're so dogmatic in the conversation that we had a big debate here. Okay,
Hmm.
I haven't called the opposition leader's name, but there was a big debate here. But listen, that's what it is about, fostering conversation and people being entitled to their opinions and all of that. Okay, but I know Junior George before I know what color Junior George wears. You know me before you know what color I wear, and we have to get out. I want us as a people to deal with the issues and forget the personalities and just kind of come together, you know.
Right.
It's frightening,
Let me say
you
this,
know.
Kirk. Let me say this. I don't understand the color battle, color fight, because I don't and never saw myself as a color or represent any particular color. I and people need to understand this. I am a person. I'm a businessman, right? I'm a businessman, and I use my business to assist in any way possible. Um, we've helped myself, my producer, and my team have helped hundreds of people far and wide. And it's never a litmus test to see what color you are, right? I don't play color. If I'm having a conversation or I have a debate, I invite everyone around the table to participate in the debate. Some people may not participate in the debate, but that doesn't mean that the debate shouldn't happen. So I don't see color. I know individuals who were my friends before politics, right? And because they got into politics and they are now leaders of a ministry, I should not be their friend. They was my friend before, way before, right? We used to laugh and talk and crack jokes and talk shit, right? And now that person is in position. What am I supposed to do, right? That's my friend. You cannot tell people that they shouldn't have relations. I don't tell anybody who to vote for or who to support or who not to support. That is crap. Me personally, Kirk, and the reason why I'm happy that you're on this platform and I want you to echo the sentiments is that I will never dictate to you what type of guest or who to have on this program. I've given you 100% rights to be yourself, do your thing, right? I have never censored and never will censor who, what, when, how, why, none of that. And I think that people need to understand that this is not what the platform is about. We may have conversation, and every time we have conversation on this platform, Kirk, I've always invited a member of the other side to give their point of view. Whether it's someone who is telling a story about someone, like Robert Maid came and tell his story, I want the other side. If this politician come and they saying something, I want the other side to respond. I've always given that opportunity. Sometimes the other side feel like they shouldn't respond, but that doesn't mean that we should not get the person's perspective on certain things. So I say that to say I am not colored. I don't see myself colored. No way, no shape, no how. I am for Grenada. Whatever is good for Grenada, I am supportive of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, listen, I'm not going to lie. I am colored,
right.
but I'm more than the color that I choose. Every single person looking at this show right now has their political stance, but we are more than our political stance, okay? And we need to start looking at that, because as I tell you, there's a lot of people who say they're this color and that color, and when they're in that private room in that ballot box, they do what it is they want, okay? And that's a person's right, okay? You are more than who you support. I am more than who I support, okay? And I really am praying for this country, okay, that we could really understand that that's a person's preference and they are more than the color that they represent. And if we could do that, we would have a better Grenada. Now, we've gone over time. I want to thank you for joining me this morning. Well, no,
Wow.
you just join me most morning, but you're behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yes.
You know, again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. I appreciate you. And I will probably they ain't gonna call me after. If they watch this program, they'll never call me to tell me no stupidness after this program.
Right.
Okay. Folks, it's a fantastic Friday. As I said, it's the 31st of January. We've made it through. I know it's not the 1st of February, but I think we make it through and we survive. You know, I want to remind each of you to make sure that you're not walking through life with your eyes wide shut. pay attention to what's happening in the world. It's not just Grenada. Pay attention to fuel prices. Pay attention to the cost of living. Pay attention to what's happening in the farms in America, because the food prices are going to go up, and it's going to go up here. Okay? Make sure that you are paying attention and doing what it is you have to do. And for those lazy people you have lie down sleeping in bed right now, wake their ass up. There are too many takers. We need more doers. I want to wish you all a fantastic day. Thank you for joining us. I also appreciate the heavy debate going on during the program. Much love to everybody. Have a fantastic Friday, and we'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a good one, folk. Bye.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Attention, Grenadians and friends. Join us for a night of celebration and culture as the Consulate General of Grenada in New York, in collaboration with the Grenada Independence Anniversary Committee, proudly present Grenada's 51st Anniversary of Independence Gala. Mark your calendars for Saturday, February 1st at the Anthems located at 9643 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village. The festivities kick off at 9 p.m. and continue until 2 a.m. Formal attire is required. Enjoy an unforgettable evening filled with vibrant entertainment from the sensational InSync band and DJ Jude. Tickets are just $200 and they are available by calling the Grenada Consulate at 212-599-0301. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to celebrate Grenada's independence with friends and family. Join us for a night of unity, joy, and pride in our heritage. We can't wait to see.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.